Hello everyone, today we will talk about the transit of Mars. Transiting Mars is in opposition to natal Uranus. How transiting Mars behaves in opposition to natal Uranus depends on the position of natal Uranus. This transit may be more prominent in your life if you already have planets in aspect to your natal Uranus. But the basics are as follows. When transiting Mars is in opposition to your natal Uranus, you get a serious wake-up call about getting out of your comfort zone. This is not a gentle awakening, but a nudge that you've been ignoring and looks more like someone turning the overhead lights on and off while you're trying to sleep. The air crackles with urgency, and some parts of you now want to move. This opposition reveals where will and freedom collide, creating impatience with anything that seems limited or false. What is required is sheer courage, not rebellion for rebellion's sake, but a determined, conscious turn toward what is more alive and true. In such a dynamic energy conflict, sudden and unexpected events are not a foreign phenomenon. Intense bursts of creative inspiration are not a new phenomenon either, but they also in most cases result in impulsive actions or conflicts. So a sharp collision between the impulse to act and the need to break free is activated. It brings the power of direction, urgency, and the will to move forward. But because of the opposition, a sudden change to autonomy and rejection of all restrictions will be required. Because of this situation, you are likely to feel both driven to achieve something and unable to tolerate any restrictions on how you do it. But this is not a riot looking for a way out, it's a rebellion looking for a target. Therefore, don't make impulsive decisions, take a breath before jumping into something big, and definitely try not to start fights or get into arguments, even if someone is pressuring you, and they will press you. But it will only look that way to you, because the very level of physical and nervous energy you experience during this time is very difficult to control. It seems that every little thing gets on your nerves and that if it can go wrong, it will, and there's nothing you can do about it. But what's more likely is that you overreact to every little thing and expend enormous energy acting out your frustration, such as throwing a temper tantrum or being unusually stubborn, even if you're not normally prone to this behavior. Either way, the inherent push and pull between your personal drive and your need for independence isn't the only part of the story. Sudden outbursts of anger or feelings of being misunderstood when trying to assert yourself will be experienced by the environment as unpredictable and very disruptive, and you, on the other hand, will struggle with consistency, as your energy levels fluctuate wildly, leading to breakthroughs followed by periods of lethargy or sudden shifts in focus. However, the goal is certainly not to eliminate pressure, but to use it. Try something completely new and exciting and be sure to break away from your daily routine, just shake things up, so that life doesn't feel stale or boring. As we have already stated, when transiting Mars is in opposition to Uranus, avoid big changes or sudden moves, especially if they come from a place of restlessness or frustration. The challenge lies in reconciling your desire to move forward with your deep-seated need for autonomy. But do you dare to be different, or at least, different than you normally are? To dress as you never dress, to grow a beard if you're always clean-shaven. That if you wear long hair, cut it completely short and so on. Also to be ready to challenge others to tell you to be different, and not only to be ready to be provocative, just to mark yourself as progressing from what you were. You are not even aware of how ready and quick you are to get in someone's face, just to be sure. This fleeting burst of defiance is to help you, not for you to dissipate its power in a mad rush, risking accidents and needless explosions around you. That restless feeling you have, it's not anxiety, it's your inner rebel finally getting permission to speak. Mars and Uranus are not on good terms, and the opposition will further complicate the situation. Therefore, although you have a strong need to act, on the other hand you rebel against any form of control. Don't ignore rules or safety guidelines just because you crave excitement or freedom. The opposition brings out the tension you feel in your bones, and this tension is electric. On the one hand, Mars encourages warmth and demands movement, while Uranus jolts and wakes up a part of you that cannot be tamed. Together they express the anger that is actually information and the restlessness that is actually a map. You'll notice sudden flashes of rules, deadlines, or people who seem to have veto power over your choices. This is what the body registers first: the spark, the tightening, the itching to screw something up or break it. Then you will shock other people, as well as yourself, and have to watch sudden outbursts that you will surely regret later. So this is not the best time to schedule important negotiations or situations that require cooperation and compromise, since now you are likely to be more stubborn and unyielding. To work constructively with the Mars-Uranus opposition, focus on channeling your rebellious energy into productive outlets. Find ways to express your individuality and follow your passions without alienating others. Embrace your need for freedom by setting clear boundaries and seeking out activities that allow for spontaneity and innovation, as this opposition encourages you to embrace spontaneity and experiment with new ideas, while keeping in mind the potential for conflict or instability that comes with such radical changes in energy.